This is a quite interesting topic, and somewhat subjective too. I don't know if there are such rants on YouTube already, but I still want to discuss this topic. Greetings, welcome to the Metal Book Tavern. Now this is a discussion video, a rant. Let's start this video by using imagination. Close your eyes and imagine a university. It's your first day of university and you don't know anyone, but you are determined to know people and make friends. You talk to people, listen to their stories, and you try to be as friendly as possible with them. You learn that each person is different and some people resonate with you more than the others. As time goes on, you continue being nice to everyone, but the way you approach them changes. You grow close to some and you grow apart from others. You create your own circle of friends. A fellowship, so to speak. Yes, I said fellowship because we love some Lord of the Rings references on this channel. Some of your friends you befriend instantly, while others need some time to be accepted. Even though you have a fellowship already, you are still willing to know more people. You explore the university and you talk to people from other courses. Sometimes you manage to find new friends and have some fun. But there's no one like the fellowship, and at the end of the day you always go back to it. They feel like home to you. Together you and your fellowship go through many challenges. You go together through good and through bad. It's so strong that it lasts for years. This is how I feel towards music, to be honest. In this case, university is the realm of music, and the courses are genres, and the fellowship is your favorite artists. I began actively searching for music around 2009 or 10. I tried many different artists from many different genres, and then I discovered artists that are my favorites to this day. Discovering new music is amazing. That's one of the things that makes me happy. One of the reasons Spotify and many other streaming services are so great is that you can discover so many different types of music, different artists, different genres, and so on. I go to Spotify sometimes, pick a genre, and find myself some nice songs. I have to say that I don't take a step beyond my usual music tastes on a daily basis. In fact, I do that quite rarely. Well, not that rarely anymore, since I am a Spotify user. I'd still rather prefer to listen to my old favorites over and over again, or at least to discover new songs from the same genre or even from the same artist. I mean that some songs by a favorite artist, they don't grow on us, but then after a few listens they do. Now you probably heard the next few phrases. But why limit yourself? You could listen to a lot of new great music. Don't be so close-minded. You should always be trying new things. I listen to everything. I don't limit myself. You are going to miss out a lot. And then suddenly you feel ashamed. You rush to discover new artists because you don't want to come off as close-minded or to miss out on something. Sometimes you force yourself to like the artists, or sometimes you manage to find music you think you like, but as time goes on you realize that you don't actually like it. Like I said earlier, discovering new music is awesome. What's not awesome, however, is forcing yourself to like music you don't actually like, or discovering new music out of guilt and shame rather than genuine interest. My point here, the reason I'm making this video in the first place, is that when you go discovering new music, you should do that willingly, even if that doesn't happen that often. I am sure a lot of people know this already. Maybe I'm not saying anything new in this video, however, I still believe that this video may be helpful to someone. If it's so, please write me down in the comments. I remember back in 2009 I had an argument with my family. We were discussing some mainstream stars. I think and they were like, oh, you aren't into famous stars, you're boring people, you need to find something to discuss with your peers, blah 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 blah. It happened on vacation, and I had Disney Channel on. It was in English, I remember. And then I remember they were showing Miley Cyrus and Jonas Brothers. I didn't enjoy them. And I was like, oh, I need to get into Miley Cyrus and Jonas Brothers. You see how lame that sounds? Liking an artist just to impress someone, your peers or whatever. Now let's go back to your fellowship. Your favorite bands or solo artists that have been there for you for years. I have a confession to make. One of the reasons I check out new music is that after listening to a lot of different genres, my favorite artists, in genres, they sound even fresher than before. Sure, you of course encounter a lot of video rants these days where they're like, oh, you shouldn't be sticking to particular artists, you should be open, you should be open-minded and blah 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 blah. Well, I'm here to say the opposite. This may be shocking to someone, maybe, but I still need to say this. Sticking to your favorite bands and artists is absolutely normal. Yes, finally I've said it. Now, of course, deliberately excluding other artists isn't a good option, at least because there's a chance you may grow tired of your favorite bands and artists. Oh, sorry, your fellowship. But one thing that people tend to forget these days is that music is above all about comfort and joy. Music is supposed to please us and inspire us and take us on an adventure. It's supposed to challenge us and to resonate with us. Music is not a duty or an obligation. Once it becomes so, for you as a listener, it loses all the value. If all roads naturally lead back to your fellowship, let it be. They are your destiny. Great, now we have the Witcher references on this channel. I'm sure a lot of you have a dominant genre of music that resonates with you more than other genres. If so, good for you. That's amazing. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. The biggest irony? It's that you discovered your fellowship because you were open-minded in the first place. Your music taste developed naturally and you know where your musical priorities lie. Or at least that's my case, at least I do. Also, another thing that is strongly associated with music is freedom. The connection between music and freedom in overall is a topic for a separate video. My point here is that you're free to select music that resonates to you and to ignore music that doesn't. Yes, of course, when you are in public you may encounter some music you don't like, but I'm discussing picking up music for yourself. This whole discussion reminds me of my bookshelves. Back in my university days, I did feel a little bit of shame of what I was reading. Let me explain. When I encountered book discussions, I heard the same thing. Be open-minded, you have to read different things, or even worse, you have to read serious literature. On one hand, this inner shame led to me to discover quite a lot of great books. I love discovering new things in literature, so it wasn't that bad. But at the same time, such a mindset, it kept me away from books that I really wanted to read. Because there was this stigma against my favorites, and when 2020 hit, I was like, I read whatever I want. Classics, rock and metal biographies, and fantasy. Lots of fantasy. This is my personal holy trinity. Funny that fantasy and metal often go hand in hand together. The connection between fantasy and metal is a topic for a separate video, and of course I'm going to go through that topic. Yeah, definitely. Because there are some things to discuss. I am in the process of the editing of this video. I filmed this video before my Spotify Wrapped results came out. For those of you who haven't seen my Spotify Wrapped results, here is a spoiler. My personality type turned out to be the adventurer. I was very much surprised to see it, given that I streamed a lot of my favorites. Maybe another personality type would have been suitable for me. I just don't remember the names of them. But I got the adventurer. And it's kinda true, music does resemble an adventure. This made me reconsider a few things, but at the same time I still stand by my words. I still believe you should be able to listen to whatever you want, and you can stick to your favorite bands if you want to. Anyway, that's all. Thank you so much for watching. The main point of this video is listen to whatever you want, even if it means sticking predominantly to your favorite bands and not discovering new music that often. See you next time. Goodbye.